What's up, guys? My name is Connor. Today we're back with more Nomad survival, and the last episode was pretty pathetic. All I did was build a little metal ring to defend some crops. So I did a lot of stuff between last episode and this episode. I built a trailer, and we got a giant robot arm on the front for mining stuff. Because, you know, I was just tired of just not going anywhere and not progressing, and I was like, you know what? I need to make some progress, and when I record, I'm pretty lazy. Like, it's not about being late. I just don't get enough stuff done, you know? I don't get stuff done. I'm focused on the recording, so I went and got some stuff done, and this robot arm's pretty sick. I mean, I used to be an engineer. I did some robot stuff, you know? I think I should be able to build a stupid robot arm, and that's what I did. So we got 2 chairs now. We also have a trailer. Originally, I attached this trailer. I made it articulating. It was wonderful. It was cool. It destroyed the game's frame rate down to 5 FPS, even on advanced physics or smart physics, doesn't matter. So it is an actual trailer. It's fully detached, and the hitch mechanism is pretty cool, too. So I've got a tire that actually overlaps the underside. So if we lift this up, you see it goes like the tire actually hangs underneath this pipe piece, so the hitch can't pop out. It actually, like, it's stuck in there. But if it ever does pop out magically for whatever reason, we can actually just weld a block there, attached to the front here. This whole thing will weld back in. These prevent it from being welded, and boom, we're back in business. It's actually, like, you know, I did some work, okay? I've played a lot of Scrap Mechanic, and I should probably know how to do some stuff. Anyway, we're gonna go and find a rock node to mine. The robot arm's pretty cool. You can rotate it left and right. You know, it's a little weird when you rotate it, but you can rotate it. We can tilt it down. We can extend it out. And then, of course, we can turn on the drills. When we turn on the drills, there's actually those 2 bright spotlights on it. So when we're mining at night, everything around the drill gets lit up. But essentially, yeah, we just kind of extend the drill arm out and, you know, we can hit up a node. It moves pretty slow, but that's kind of what you want on a node when you're drilling it. And of course, everything is just perfect. So, you know, we're gonna go find a rock node. We're gonna mine it. I've been doing a little bit of mining. Obviously, I need to build another vehicle for that stupid tree attachment. I don't want to really put it on this vehicle because we have too much stuff. And then we probably need to go to the oil pond too and get some oil as well. Oil supply is running a bit low, but I'm not really too worried about that because basically what I want to do is just, I'll slap the pump and a chest onto the end of the robot arm and just dip it into the pond, and life will be gravy. So yeah, I did some stuff. I was tired of not having progression, okay? And you know, everyone said I made a big box, and I was like, I get that, but on the inside, my feelings were hurt, so I decided to make another big box and drag it on the back of it. And it's actually identical layout. I did shorten the whole vehicle as well, like the front, because we had some of those, you know, high centering issues, and I feel like if I made the front vehicle just a little bit shorter, then it would just be a lot better, right? So that's where we're at, and everything is great, and we're just gonna go nomad it up. Now, I do need oil. Like I said, we're getting a little low on the old oil supply, so we do need to get some oil. So we'll head back to the oil pond and do that, I think. I also probably need to build a chest, so we probably need to get some glue. You know what? While it's nighttime, I'm just gonna go get some clams. I'm gonna get some clams, and I'll just harvest clams until the morning, and then that way we'll just have tons of glue for future projects because we have none, and we need it for chests and stuff, and yeah. So we're just gonna park right here, go get some glue, and then it'll be nice and morning, and you know what? I'll be right back here in this seat, you know, and magically I'm just gonna have just an inventory full of glue. All right, well, it's daytime. I got an inventory full of shells, so we've got 2 objectives, but the car is gone. So I'm going to assume the car slid into the water, which, yeah, okay. I came out of the water way over there and walked along the shore after I finished my shell collection. This might be a problem. We might need some sort of a brake system because I can't put the car... Oh, it's still sliding. I mean, I guess I could technically just put it on a lift because, you know, the problem is if you put it on a lift, the trailer would detach, right? But we could just put, like, a lift next to the car and jam it up so it can't just move. But I think we can actually just sort of drive along the ocean floor here and get out, maybe. We don't really get the greatest traction. The vehicle kind of wants to float, I think, but I'm not really sure. Okay, I need to go breathe a little bit. You know what? I think I'm gonna have to take this out on the lift. Yeah, that's an unfortunate system, but the good news is it's actually gonna let me test the trailer welding because I haven't actually done that yet. So I should just be able to put a block there. And then we should be able to go grab the front of the trailer and just weld it up. And theoretically, you can see now the actual like tire latch I was talking about. So that little sort of loop helps it from jumping out. But theoretically, this should all just work and just weld up, and it shouldn't be connected anywhere except that one block, which then we break, and then the trailer's back in the hitch. So that's the idea, hopefully, because I don't like controller hitches. The bearings are just too weak, right? The whole trailer would just pull through. So this is it's just a solid hitch. So we should be able to do something like that. Perfect. And then if I take this off the lift, We'll leave it on the lift for now. We'll get it a little bit closer to the shore. There we go. And now if I break this, the trailer is free floating again. And we're off. Perfect. That's the wrong seat. That is the robot seat. This is a massive charge zone to the right. I bet you there's farmers in there, actually. There's a couple of compounds in there. There's 3. I see 3 buildings in there, so there's probably going to be farmers in there. And if there's farmers, that's good, because this is right next to the trader. Or is there there's a compound there, too. There's a bunch of charred compound. One of these will have to have farmers in it for sure. Because if there's farmers that spawn right next to the trader, that's kind of amazing. Oh god, we need so much more traction on the front vehicle. Like, we need just more wheels. And this is an empty trailer. This doesn't even have any other weight on it yet. Once we start getting another vehicle and loading it, like that back trailer is supposed to be for other vehicles. That's my sort of, you know, the plan that I've got going on in my head, which is like, we'll have the back vehicle covered with trailers, the front vehicle will have all our crafting stations and stuff, everything will be perfect. But the reason I had it articulating originally was that I could power the back trailer and this thing was able to move no problem. But of course, powering the back trailer, you run into the issue where, you know, I just lost the trailer. I was like, why am I going faster? Yeah, no, it just, oh boy, this might be a problem. Well, we're gonna have to go find a shallower way to get up here, I think is the answer. But yeah, this is sort of an issue. This is why I love the articulating trailer idea, but unfortunately when I attached it, Scrap Mechanic decided to explode because you can't have a bearing, you know, attaching 2 vehicles together, and then it just, the whole articulating mechanism, multiple bearings plus the robot arm on the front, the game was like, yeah man, this is too complicated of a vehicle. Oh, hi guys, how are you guys doing? We're just gonna lift this up. Yeah, no, that's cool. I mean, you guys just gonna follow me under here, and then we're just gonna go like this. Okay, no, we're gonna lift you back up again. Come here, let's just, everybody stand next to the lift. Okay, thank you. All right, I'm gonna go around this way and see if there's a shallower hill to get up there. Otherwise, I might just have to go up there and grab the soil plots, and we'll have to start finding a different area to farm. In the meantime, this is a perfect rock node to mine because it's on flat ground, so we're just gonna actually mine this out because I've mined 2 rock nodes total since I built this robot arm, and we're gonna mine a 3rd because it's really efficient. So we just go click and just boom. It will sort of slowly push our vehicle away, but that's okay. And then we just get in the other seat and reverse it. I basically needed 2 seats because we're using the steering controls on this seat to turn the robot arm and then WS to extend it out, which is really, really cool because we just have it hooked into a controller. And then 1 and 2 lets it tilt up and down, right? So we can just sort of grind and mulch everything up. And when we're done, I can actually use the robot arm to sort of, you'll see, once we break up the main chunks, all we got to do is basically just go behind the rocks, like extend past, oh, that one went a little far. I might have to drive over to get that one. But once we've gotten past all these main chunks, then we just sort of extend the robot arm past them all and just drag them back towards the collectors, and it just sort of mulches everything. It's really, really cool. And the way I have it set is the rotors, like the drills, automatically tilt down as we extend the arm out further, so they keep that angle. So they're always pointing essentially in the initial starting direction. And then we just go down all the way to the ground, like so. And then we just slowly drag it back. And as we extend it back, it'll just bring the pieces with it and mulch everything up. This is I'm so glad this works as well as it does. And then obviously we'll have to drive through the pile and pick up everything, but it's pretty easy. Like, we can get rid of a whole rock pile in a relatively short amount of time without having to get out of our seat. We never have to do any manual drilling, so we don't waste our own, you know, stamina doing that. Honestly, rock mining in this game is so satisfying to me. It's just so wonderful. Just get to watch it get mulched up. Just perfect. Like, this just works so well. Drag it all. We probably need to do a little bit of a drive through the pile here in a sec. I'm gonna do one last pull through this stuff, but then I think I might have to drive through there's a lot of the random, like, actual sticks that need to be collected, and they're not a problem, but they kind of block your drills. Like, if it's in between your drill and a rock, then the drill won't, you know, hit the rock, obviously. So just sort of a thing, but this is pretty cool. I'm a big fan of this setup. This is like the first time I think I've had a really effective robot arm. I know the first time I played Scrap Mechanic Survival, I built a little robot arm, but it wasn't nearly as good as this. This is just, like, look at how easy that is. It just gets everything done. Like, that literally took all those rocks out, one swoop. Okay, this is a little bit more difficult to do with the trailer. When I originally built the robot arm, there was no trailer, and I just could kind of, you know, drive wherever I want. Now I gotta sort of make sure the trailer's lined up, but we're fine. No big deal. Might have to do some of these little rocks by hand because they all got a little bit spread out. I still think it would be cool to have a little bulldozer vehicle that could help us push stuff into a pile. All right, there we go, perfect. Finished getting all that up, took out a little tree that was in the way, broke the trailer off again. You know, the trailer, it's got that jackknifing problem. I might have to extend it a little bit. I think the arm is just a little bit too short. So it's not a big deal, because whenever we go 90, I think the trailer jackknifes and pushes through it. So we can fix that. That's not a huge problem. Man, so I figured it out. Basically, every time this trailer goes up a hill, the hitch pulls through. I think it's because this bottom latch just pulls through, and then the whole hitch somehow falls off. So yeah, I might need. I wonder if it's because I have the front wheels. I think it's because I have the front wheels on the trailer. I think what's happening is the trailer is pivoting on the front wheels. So maybe if I do this, if I just remove all the front wheels. Whoops, I think this trailer, like I might have to redesign this trailer, make it a little bit smaller, but I'm pretty sure the issue is that there's so much weight on the back of the trailer. When the front wheels come up over a hill, they try and pivot the whole trailer at that point, right? So maybe now it won't do that. That's my thought, but essentially every time I go up a little hill, the trailer pulls through, and that's not great. This might actually be the solution though. I really should probably build some sort of a sensor system on the trailer, so as the trailer pulls away from the car, it detects that and has a little motor on it and tries to like push itself along. Not because it wouldn't steer or anything, but at least it would give, you know, a little bit of propulsion to itself with a sensor, and you put a gas tank on it and blah, blah, blah. Like, I think that's probably the next step, and then have a sensor right on the hitch or something, so that as it pulls away, like, just slightly stretches because of, you know, the block collisions in Scrap Mechanic, maybe it'll stretch enough that we can actually detect that, and then, you know, like, as this pulls away, we can replace that block with a sensor, and as it just slightly pulls off, maybe that's enough for us to be able to trigger a wheel to start moving, like the back wheels to push the trailer forward. I don't know, that might be a future project, but I'm thinking, for now, this might be the solution. And just like that, took the extra trailer wheels off, put them in the middle, and it kind of helps a little bit. We still need just a whole, I think there needs to be suspension. Like, I know the suspension won't be able to do anything but bottom out, but like, you can see there, our front wheel loses the contact with the ground because we go up and tilt. So I think just if I had large suspension on all the wheels on the front, that would make a huge difference in terms of contact, and it would just, you know, make it actually grip. Even though they're all going to be completely bottomed out anyway, it doesn't matter. It'll just, you know, give us that extra push. But, yeah, I'm going to have to redesign all the wheel hubs to do that. We're going to have to, like, lift them all up by a block, and then that way we can jam suspension in. But there we go. We can kind of make it up here. It's a little rough. I don't even know if I think I'm going up the right hill. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to collect all the soil, and we're going to find a new farm plot, like a new area to farm. Maybe I'll just farm wherever I feel like it. I don't know. I know I have that rule with Nomad where it's like we're supposed to farm on the dedicated farming areas. But apparently the dedicated farming area on this map is at the top of Mount Everest for whatever reason. So I might have to shift it. I think we'll collect the soil for now, just in case we want to go somewhere else with it, but hey guys, what's up? Yeah, we're gonna load up the back of the trailer just with a ton of soil. But there we go, we made it, perfect. That was a mission. That was very much a mission to get up here. So I'm gonna take the soil, load it up on the back of this trailer. This whole thing is literally at the top of a mountain, and there's no other way up here. Like, that's all a ridge. That's all, it's literally, you have to come up the way we came, somewhere within this realm, which is just up the hill. All right, he's going to kill a cow, that's fine. But yeah, I'll have to, well, you know what, for now, I think what I'm going to do is, we're just going to take the trailer and reduce its length a little bit. So we're going to take this off, because we can easily do this, and then we'll just, we'll actually just cut the trailer right here, and I'll just drill a hole right through, and then we'll turn this into the new, like, front plate of the trailer, essentially. So it'll be a little bit smaller, but again, we only really need the trailer to store a few vehicles that we're going to be building in the future here, right? So that's sort of the plan. I'm just gonna take all this. I just realized I have to actually delete it all because it's survival. I thought, oh, I'll just cut it off and then I'll put this on my lift and then click delete, but you can't do that because we have to, you know, get the blocks back so we can actually use them in the future. But anyway, so all right, we'll grab all this, grab all that. That's perfect. Wonderful. And then we'll just weld this back on. I think that haybot's done killing the cow, so he's probably gonna come try and kill me next. Weld this onto there. There we go, perfect. And now we got a little short trailer. Excellent. That's exactly what we want. We'll put little walls on it, made out of brick. Why not? And then at some point we'll have a little ramp at the back and we can load vehicles up, or maybe we'll have ramps on the side. And then of course we'll take a couple bricks there and we'll just reattach our saw blade attachment, which has basically just been luggage for the last few episodes, but that's okay. We got tons of wood, so I think I want to make an actual like tree cutting vehicle. I'm probably gonna get rid of this, although it's super efficient. It's just big. It's big and bulky, but it's so efficient to just chop a tree in one shot. But honestly, like, tree chopping is not really... You fell the tree over, you just kind of drive into it, kill it. Anyway, it's not a big deal. All right, let's collect some soil. Get rid of all this. This is going to take a while. Yeah, unfortunate. But I'm going to collect this. We're going to stack it all up on the trailer in bags, and then we'll find a new farming spot, because honestly, this is a pain in the butt to get to. All right, perfect. All the soil's unloaded. Let's get going. Gonna go find another farming field, and also gonna get that oil patch. But I honestly don't know where another farming field is. I don't think we found one. This trailer is much better already. I can feel the difference. We definitely need to make the wheels on the front of this vehicle bigger. I think what I want to do with the front vehicle is make a series of almost like airplane wheels, where it has like the pivot point in the middle and the two wheels on either side of the pivot point, right? So you basically, and they're all sort of upright. And that way each wheel is a dually, so instead of having the dualies on the outside of the bearing, the bearing is in the middle and there's a gap between the wheels. I think that'll be much more efficient, and then of course I want to put it all in suspension. So ultimately this front vehicle just needs a lot of modification, but already with this smaller trailer, like, this is much more maneuverable, and it doesn't even really feel like I'm dragging the trailer anymore. Speaking of that though, we are almost out of gas. We are at the red on the gas, so let's get that going here real quick. Just make a bunch of gas. See, the oil supply, it's not terrible. Oh, okay, we already have a little bit of gas there. Perfect. Good enough, let's go. I'm just worried about there's a red bot, you know, down here, and running out of gas next to a red bot might be a bit of a problem. All right, there he is. Let's see what happens. Oh, I can't hit him. He's up the hill. Come on, bro, come back. Oh, is he killing a, oh, he's killing a cow. I wonder what, I don't know, like, can I run into him with a car, or is he gonna stop me dead if I do? I don't think so, right? Like, if I hit him, it'll knock him over. Oh, he killed the cow. I need to be more in the open so I don't have a risk of getting stuck. Come on, bud. Yeah, there you go. He's coming. Okay, perfect. And then I just want to do like a, you know, just sort of run him over while, I didn't want to say drive by, but I want, you know, drive by. We're just gonna, we don't have guns or anything, but we're just gonna hit him and see if it knocks him over or not. I don't think it's not gonna kill him, but maybe it'll do some damage. Oh, it does. Okay. Interesting. I didn't know you could do that. All right, let's go keep driving. I'm gonna go get to that oil pond. All right, we're coming up to the road end between the two halves, but luckily this map is actually pretty good about it. And we just gotta go up here, which now is no problem with the smaller trailer. Yeah, it definitely, the trailer was definitely just bottoming out before, like not bottoming out, but it was like pulling, you know, too much weight on the one spot. But anyway, perfect. Then we come up here. Should probably cut down that tree. Excellent. And then we get up to the maze, which is perfect, but not a farmer's field. Just the hedge maze. And the oil is up on that hill there, so we're gonna cut across this field to get to the oil. And I'm gonna deal with finding a farmer's field in the next episode, I guess, because, well, we need to grow crops to get the spud gun, but ultimately, I think I gotta improve the vehicle a little bit first. We got metal now, which is great. Like, I have, you know, the mining rig, so we're not hurting for resources anymore. That was the biggest problem, was just being able to get metal. And now we could make much more metal 3 if we had to. That's a cool little compound. I love the terrain generation there. It just makes an incredibly steep hill on both sides because it needs to make sure that the compound is flat. But anyway, but yeah, I think what we can do is just, you know, we'll collect some oil here real quick off the robot arm. Won't take very long. And just get another chest full of oil. And then, of course, we'll be able to go find ourselves a farmer's field to get some spud guns. And I think before I do that, though, I'm going to improve this whole drive system on the front vehicle. Maybe even extend the metal 3 fence out to make it the full width of the vehicle instead of just like some weird mid part of it. And then, yeah, gonna have to make a proper suspension setup for these wheels so we can get better traction. Because currently, you can see the floppiness of the wheels and the lack of traction just isn't there. We still have a bunch of honeycomb. Like, I still have enough honeycomb to make another 4 wheels, I would think. Another 4 large wheels. If not, it's not too hard to get, but... Alright, here we go. Here's the oil pond. So, this is probably close enough. We don't want our vehicle randomly sliding into the oil pond. You're still moving. See, I need to put... This is what I need. I need to do this sometimes randomly. Not... Maybe I just do this occasionally. I almost need to build a spot on the vehicle that has this built in, though. Like a place where you can put down a series of blocks like that. And then see, it just hooks the lift. And now we can't move in any direction ever, right? It's kind of a bit jank, but, you know, Scrap Mechanic doesn't believe in brakes, so that's where we're at. So, let's grab that gas. We'll need to put that in the thing later. Let's dump all these shells. Perfect. We're gonna make a bunch of glue. Do we have enough component? We need 3 component kits for a large chest. Shoot. Okay. Well, we're gonna make a bunch of glue first. Do I have an empty large chest? This is empty enough. We'll just steal this one for now. There we go. Grab one of those. And then we're just gonna basically go out to the robot arm. And on the front of the robot arm, I don't really have a very scientific way to do this. So essentially what we're gonna do is we're just gonna take... Robot arm's freaking out a little bit, but that's okay. We're just gonna take this and do something like that. And then we're just gonna take the chest and put it on the end of this. And then put the vacuum pump on that. Again, highly scientific. And then we'll just do one of these, put the switch on. Might as well just do that and just turn it on to start. And then we'll go here. We'll have you craft all the rest of the oil and the gas because might as well. We're gonna have a whole new batch of oil here in a sec. And then we just extend the arm out. We could, I guess, like, don't really need the drill bits on. But there we go, perfect. This is kind of makes me feel like we're treating the oil like it's sort of radioactive waste. You know, we got this really long robot arm. There we go, turn some lights on so we can see what we're doing. But, you know, ultimately it doesn't really matter. It's just because I don't want the vehicle sliding into the oil. Is this going to be close enough, though? Yeah, it is. Perfect. Look at that. Done. We are now sucking oil. Beauty. Oh, I don't need the drills running. Doesn't matter. We're burning gas. This is efficiency. We're literally running these drills and burning gas just to get the lights. Because I hooked it up all into the same switch, but it's fine. I honestly should maybe make a permanent chest addition to this arm. Maybe on the back of the arm or something. Although it would get in the way when you're trying to do mining, but you could have it swivel with a controller. But when we're deploying fruit crates to the packing stations, we're going to need some sort of a system like this as well, right? With a chest on a thing. Or maybe I just have to make a separate arm for the chest. I'm going to let this fill up with oil completely and then fill it up. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Let me know what else you want to see in Nomad Survival. We're doing pretty good now. Need to start building. I'm going to build another vehicle soon and then get that going. And got to get some farming. So got to find some farm field. But yeah, gotta fix up some stuff. We're getting a lot better though. The vehicle's, it's working. We're moving in a forward direction. I feel so much better having a proper robot arm now that can actually do stuff. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Like, subscribe, and as always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll see y'all next time.